It's a Thursday, so that means we are live here on the Cowboys Report. Tom Downey, producer Chris, behind the scenes for today's show. We'll run you through some limited news and rumors that are out there. We'll go through the 49ers Cowboys Madden sim, which it's the Niners. Oh, it is Madden, so I actually feel a bit better about that side because it's not real life. Also look at some UFL targets today for the Cowboys. One of the top free agents out there, specifically relevant to Dallas, still remains Stephon Gilmore. What do you think is the percent chance the Cowboys end up bringing back Gilmore? We'll give some shout-outs here as your comments come in. Percent chance you think the Cowboys decide to reunite with Gilmore, the veteran corner. Hasn't been a lot of traction. A little bit of update out of Carolina for him, which I think is relevant to us. But not a lot going on right there. Ecuador man says negative 69%. Nice. I like it. 10, 5, 66, negative 13, 50, 37.6, 5, 21%, 100% from Brian. He's guaranteeing it. Meanwhile, Ecuador man is reverse guaranteeing it. I'd say that 10% range, maybe. 50-50. I think that number could rise if someone goes down. Not going to if it doesn't happen, but I could have done it if they wanted to. I think Gilmore's trying to find some bigger options out there. Or at least like bigger money and playing time, etc. 50-50, 25, 77, 50-50, 48%, so less likely. 0 from Richard as well. The pinned poll on today's show is who you got in the upcoming Madden sim. C for the Cowboys, 4 for the 49ers. Early results, emphasis on early. 84% are going with the Cowboys. 15% for the 49ers. I'm a little surprised it's that high. Now, I think when we get to this game in the regular season and we do this exact same question and pin poll, I think it's going to be kind of low. I don't really think that it's going to. I don't have much confidence. Put it that way. I don't have confidence in the Cowboys taking on San Francisco right now. I have basically none. I would be happily surprised if it did happen, but until they actually play well against them, all three phases, which hasn't happened in a long time, I'm not buying it. So C or 4 for the comments section in the comment section as well. Jackson Edison Madden says C. Niku says C. Jeremy Sapp says C. McCaden Clay has a C in there. Curtis Brown, Robert Vasquez, Angel of Death, Mike, all saying C. Vince says 4. Daniel says the Niners win the sim, but we get them for the season. Interesting. I would take that on a heartbeat. 4 from Ecuador man. I think Killer Hunter Ray is actually a Niners fan, which is kind of funny. Freak Burrito says C. Ty McPherson's got a 4, and Tyler Fricky has a C as well. This is today's Super Chat menu. Now, I got my flag game today. It's at 6:30. I'm going to be late for it. I guess 6:30 Eastern time for clarity. So there will be no discounts for the shots and the beer bongs. I will keep them up there, and if I'm unable to go because of lack of sobriety, so be it from that perspective. We are raffling off at the end of today's show the Cowboys Bluetooth speaker. $5 entry for that. $10 gets you 3 raffle entries. There are a handful of people who did the $3 entries, etc., but there are actually only like 3 people who are in the raffle. So everyone's got a really good chance of winning until we get some more super chats for the Bluetooth speaker raffle. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong. I will not be giving away discounts on those because my liver would prefer it if I show up and do something that's healthy and active for me and go play in the 90 whatever degree weather in the flag game. We will do, though, if you do a 50, it's a beer bong and a tortilla slap. We do have some tortillas. They are not very fresh, which makes it funnier. We do have some tortillas. That is a $50 super chat for the beer bong and for the tortilla slap. Now, we lost kind of badly last week to Bears, or last Monday, I should say, to Bears now in the super chat battle. We're trying to beat them this week. Now, they had 2 different people put in $100 super chats. As a team, though, I think we can do it. Starting at 0 and, well, actually now $2 in super chat from We Don't Wife These 304s. Who's worse, Russo or Cowherd? I'm going to go with Russo. Does he actually watch the games? Does he? Because, like, Cowherd, I think does. I disagree with him a lot. Say what, Stone? Cowherd, I think I disagree with him plenty, but I think he actually, like, tries and isn't just trying to be hot takey guy. So I'm going to go with Russo on that one. You guys can also vote, by the way, of course, in the comments. So long way to go still to catch up to Bears now in the Super Chat battle from this week. Back to the 49ers conversation here. What is your confidence level in beating the 49ers this year? And I want honest answers here, 1 to 10, because my answer is very low. I do not have confidence in them doing it, because not only they got better this year on the field, or at least on paper, and they haven't really been great performances previously against San Francisco. Corey says 1. Niku says 4. Vince says 4. Freak Burrito says 6. Joseph says 0. Yikal wants to know if he can say 0. You can put in 0 as well. That's fine. Ecuador Man says 000. Red Eyes Black Dragon 4. Sack 77 6. Scatalytic Dude 7. Ty Condi 2. Daniel Garcia 2. Appreciate the optimism there from McCaden Clay 10. Calvin Jefferson says 5. Lone Wolf says 4.20. Nice. 5.5 from C4R. Angel of Death says 10. Niners are going to win. Have a down year off the Super Bowl loss. We're coming off a bye. Okay. Daniel 7. Joe Linden minus 6.9. Tyler says get rid of McCarthy, and it's a 7. A 5 from Joseph. Likeable's got 9.99. Get those comments in for me, your confidence level in beating the 49ers this year. The goal, as always, is to have a 50% like ratio on the Cowboys Report. We are about a third-ish on the like ratio side. So if you haven't already, do me a favor, like today's video. I do see Anthony McMillan in there in the comments too, 0.1. My liver is now a little bit concerned here. If Anthony, you weren't here earlier, I have a flag game tonight. We will lose. Our team is not good. I'm the number 1 receiver, and that tells you how bad we are. I should not be the number 1 receiver. It's like trotting out Allen Hurns as wide receiver 1. It's just not going to work. So the shots are 20 and the beer bongs are 50, and there will be no discounts today because I would like to not have to skip because I was intoxicated. But if I do, it's up to you guys. Coming up on today's live Cowboys Report, we'll run through some news and rumors on America's team. A mailbag as well. 2 ways to get on the show. Number 1, use hashtag Cowboys, or you can skip that line altogether by super chatting. We appreciate we don't wipe these 304s super chat that came in earlier as well. Hashtag Cowboys does get you in the queue, and you will and that gives producer Chris a chance to find your question. Otherwise, you're just not. It's not going to get pulled in. No chance it gets on the show. So make sure you use that hashtag Cowboys. We'll also run through some UFL targets for the Cowboys. I got 10 names in addition to some bonus ones and the names that the Cowboys worked out earlier this week. We will also have, at the end of today's live show, the Cowboys Madden Sim. Again, as a reminder, $5 super chat gets you entered into our Bluetooth speaker raffle. $10 is 3 entries. All that's coming up live here on the Cowboys Report. We are once again battling Giants now in subs this month, and we are narrowly behind. Now, look, we're playing from a disadvantage. We have more subscribers than those Giants fans do. Doesn't mean we should be losing. We still know about 40 to 50% of you watch the show and aren't subscribed. Change that. You get free Cowboys videos every single day. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Let's talk Stephon Gilmore. He is one of, if not the biggest free agent unsigned that has at least a chance, however small it is, to end up back in Dallas. But there's been very limited buzz on him signing anywhere. The Panthers had been linked pretty heavily. He's from South Carolina. And Jadeveon Clowney continues to push for a reunion between the two with the Panthers. Clowney saying recently at minicamp for Carolina, that's my guy. I talk to him all the time. He wants me to move out here, though. I was like, I ain't moving up there. We can hang out. Just come on and sign with the Panthers and be up here with me. I do stay out of it. I let him do his thing. I just hope and pray he ends up here with me. But it's fun. It's fun. Like I said, I'm just talking to him and picking his brain. He's got options. When you have options, it's even funner. So I'm just ready to see where he ends up. I do think the door remains open for Stephon Gilmore in a reunion with Dallas. Now, that door is not wide open waiting for it to come through. It just wasn't locked properly when you left it, or you left the garage door open overnight, which I certainly haven't been doing 3 straight nights in a row, promise you. Part of the reason why I think Gilmore is unsigned is a lot of the top corners are still unsigned. Stephon Gilmore is a free agent. Xavier Howard has been a free agent after getting cut earlier this offseason. Adoree Jackson's a free agent. Patrick Peterson. J.C. Jackson's been kind of in a weird career path, but those guys are all available. They're all older players, most of them coming off an injury of some sort as well. I think all those things combined tend to lead to a deflated market in the NFL and means that, there's not a lot of buzz, not a lot of interest for veteran players who want decent money and a probably guaranteed starting spot. Then when you get to June and into July, teams want to see if those young guys can do anything. But I think Gilmore's still a good football player. I think he's looking for various money, guaranteed-wise and playing time promises, etc. But he can still help a football team. And if the money's right and the playing time is right, which neither might be, or both might be wrong for Dallas, if we're being honest here, I would have interest for Gilmore. So what is the % chance the Cowboys bring back Stephon Gilmore? Honest answers for me in the comments section of today's show. You should know what the ad break means. It means if I got to be an ad here, just ignore it. Nobody cares. Instead, head down to that pinned comment and vote. Sticking with the cornerback conversation, USA Today mentioned a possible breakout season for second-year corner Eric Scott, the 6th-round pick last year. It would be a good thing if Eric Scott had a breakout season. He didn't play at all as a first-year player. He was a redshirt season after playing inconsistently in the preseason. Was targeted 10 times in coverage, allowed 7 catches for 126 yards. There is room for Eric Scott to carve out a backup role. I wouldn't anticipate him beating out Jordan Lewis for a nickel corner role, and I think he's got inside-outside flex. I'm very curious where he actually ends up lining up in camp, because figuring out that number 2 nickel, if it's not DaRon Bland, I think is something that has to be sorted and vetted through right there. So despite there being as high as CB4 for Scott in terms of the range of outcomes, there's also he gets cut on the range of outcomes. I think he's in a make-or-break season. Dallas, historically speaking, tries really hard to get especially their first-year players, but their second-year guys too, on the 53-man rosters because they like their guys. But it's a new regime in town. Mike Zimmer goes, this guy's not good, I can't play with him. It's not like he was the one who put draft stock into him. So I don't think Eric Scott is truly guaranteed a roster spot. I think there is a scenario that exists in which Scott, says, the Cowboys go, that's fine, we're just going to move on from him and we'll cut him, or maybe offer up to the Commanders for a day 3 comp pick right there. A big preseason, I think, is what we're searching for, in training camp too, of course, for Scott from all different parties involved. We'll talk running back here in a minute, but the Ezekiel Elliott rookie jersey is available. Go to chatsports.com/Zeke15 jersey. We'll see how long the sale lasts. It was on sale when I checked it earlier this afternoon. So get yours today, 25% off, at chatsports.com/Zeke15 jersey. Those sales aren't always super consistent, so take advantage while you can. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. Chatsports.com/Zeke15 jersey. A trade rumor I want to get into on today's show from Bobby Belt, the Love of the Star podcast. He had mentioned maybe Isaiah Spiller, the Chargers running back, the former Texas A&M product. He could be a possible trade target for the Cowboys, citing the fact that the Cowboys liked him a couple years ago, coming out when he was a 4th-round pick. The Chargers have drastically overhauled their running back room with Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh now in charge of the offense. It's the old Ravens duos there. It's Gus Edwards, J.K. Dobbins. They drafted Kamani Vidal in the 6th round. Elijah Dotson at times was active over Isaiah Spiller last year. Jarrett Patterson's gotten some run briefly in his NFL career. And Ben Mason's the fullback. Now, I did have interest in Spiller coming out of the NFL draft. He was a top 100 player for me on my board. He was actually my number 3 running back. I think I only had 2 in the top 75. It was kind of a lower rated class for me. 3rd round grade. The issue for me and for Dallas and the trade value and everything, he's been bad. He has not made any impact so far in his NFL career. Over the course of 15 games in 2 seasons, Isaiah Spiller has 55 carries for a meager 137 yards, which you guys can do math. 2.5 yards per carry is not good. Not good at all, which is kind of wild because he was a 5+ per carry back at Texas A&M. He did not test well. And I think that has been a very there was a point when Isaiah Spiller was in the RB1 conversation coming out of A&M. 3 years, nearly 1,000 yards. He didn't fumble at all in his final season, and then he struggled. His testing was bad. 4.6, 4.3 40. He was sub 5 in his relative athletic score, and I think the disappointing athletic testing, a big reason why he did not end up as RB1 for me, and why he's been a disappointment so far in the NFL. But he's not going to cost you much in a trade. In fact, it might be a conditional pick depending on when you do it, if he even plays for you. And the Chargers just get out of the, they save a little bit of money in the process, right? Every single running back that's available is at least worth having a conversation about, because this is a bad backfield. Elliott's getting paid the most guaranteed money. Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, Royce Freeman, Malik Davis. It's not a great group of players. A lot of these guys are either later round picks. They've been on multiple teams. They were UDFAs. It's just not a good group. But Isaiah Spiller might not make it an upgrade. So would you trade for him? It's one of those, like, I'm fine if they do, but I'm not, like, clamoring for them to go get it done. Would you trade for Spiller? Y for yes, N for no in the comments section. Let's talk breakout again here. We'll go to stick on the defensive side of the ball here. Sam Williams getting some hype from CBS Sports, with a rather interesting argument from Cody Benjamin, who wrote, quote, "For a guy who received Defensive Rookie of the Year consideration in 2022, Williams often gets overshadowed by Micah Parsons and company. But after combining for 8 sacks, 15 TFLs, and 16 quarterback hits in his 2 NFL seasons, he could be primed for more with an expanded role." So I do think there's some truth to this. Now, the Defensive Rookie of the Year consideration part was true by technicality. He got a 3rd-place vote. And if we're being honest, it should have been Sauce Gardner, Hutchinson, Tariq Woolen as the top 3. I don't really think that was fair. And I don't think Sam Williams was ever really in the Defensive Rookie of the Year conversation, even if there were some intriguing plays. I also would point out he's not just in a breakout season, he's kind of in a make or break season. So are you buying, or at least hoping for, a potential breakout season from the third-year pass rusher? B for your buy-in, S for you are selling. Look, if you want to buy it, sure, go for it. I'm also buying it's kind of a make or break year for Sam Williams. And Mike Zimmer is going to make or break him. You know, Williams has to mature. That's been said by many who know what they're talking about around him there. He's got to be more productive than what he was last season. He's got to not make the boneheaded mistakes on and off the field, if we're being honest. 8 penalties. You know what puts you in Zim's doghouse real quick? Boneheaded penalties. A lot of those penalties were dumb by Sam Williams. Pressure rate dropped last year, but there is a path to playing time. In fact, there's a path to a lot of playing time and a lot of impact for Sam Williams. There's Micah Parsons, Tank Lawrence, Marshawn Nealon. Junior Fehoko is getting some DEDT run. This is a prime opportunity for Sam Williams to showcase what he's able to do and take a massive step forward. And I hope he does. The chance is there. It could also go the other way in the end. Now, it is mailbag time here on the Cowboys Report. 2 ways to get on the show. You can either A, super chat, guaranteed to get on the show, or just get your questions in the queue via hashtag Cowboys. I see Food Review just put one in there. I see Vince was in there earlier. So use hashtag Cowboys or super chat to get on the show. Now, if you don't use the hashtag Cowboys, Chris is not going to find your question, and you're not going to be able to get on the show. Now, as for the super chat menu, this is what's available to you guys. A $5 super chat gets you an entry into our Cowboys Bluetooth speaker raffle. That'll be done at the end of today's live show after the Madden stream. $10 is 3 raffle entries, so you're kind of getting an extra freebie on that front. Got a flag game, so I don't want to drink today, but if you guys make me, I will. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong. Because we're not going to do any of the specialty items, there will be no 4-for-1 beer bongs like there was last Monday. $50 gets you a beer bong and a tortilla slap. We do have those available. You can pick me or producer Chris to get slapped. Is that okay with you? I guess I never cleared that with you beforehand, so I don't want to because of the implication. We could slap Stone. Super chat menu is as follows. So get your questions in via that super chat or via #Cowboys. Now, we have an Instagram page that you guys can go follow us over there on. We are 39 followers away from 1,000. Help us get there. More of our short form coverage, photos, etc. will be available. Go follow us on Instagram at Cowboys Report IG. First up from Joseph Thomas. How many years think they're going to keep Dak? At least 1, and then I don't know. I don't know where he's going to end up. Is it a Cowboys thing? Is it a Dak thing? Is it a mutual thing? They haven't really talked to the agents. It's kind of just some weirdness going on there. I think it's a great question, and I know it's bad to say I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know if he's there for the next 3 years or 4 years or 5 years, or if it's just this is it. I think everything's on the table because of the way the Cowboys have handled this contract from the beginning of when he was eligible for a deal. From Food Review, team is a mess. So McCarthy is fired before the trade deadline. Probably not going to happen. What player has the most value that you're willing to give up in a fire sale? So if you're going fire sale, you should go fire sale. And this next part's going to be kind of controversial. That means there's like a handful of players who aren't available. Team loses quarterback, say, hey, Dak, we're bad. You want to go try to win a championship? Talk to him about it. That one's probably impossible, but still. Any running back is available. Any receiver not named CeeDee Lamb is available. Frankly, if you're fire sailing, you should take pretty much whatever you can get for Brandon Cooks. Doesn't matter at that point. 5th round pick, that's fine. It also allows you to spend money in free agency if you want to do that and not risk out on losing your comp pick. Offensive line, you're keeping Guyton, you're keeping Smith, you're keeping all your young guys. Terrence Steele's playing bad. I'd love to fire sale him, but that's probably not going to happen. This next part is sack religious. You should listen to calls on Zach Martin. You should, because he's not going to help you win now. I know if it's like the Emmitt Smith thing of like him playing in a Cardinals jersey, but you gotta maximize your team and your long-term potential and let Zach go try to win a championship somewhere else. I'm actually okay with that. Tank Lawrence. You're not going to re-sign him, let him go. At that point, you're only kind of keeping Micah, basically. Your young players at linebacker and probably your young corners. Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson. If you're fire sailing, fire sale right. If you're trying to win, try to win right. It's not been the Cowboys' MO so far. From Long John, trade for Najee Harris. I think that stuff got overblown from some bad reporting out of Pittsburgh, or there wasn't out of Pittsburgh there. I don't really find much credibility to him being moved. I would also like someone with more explosiveness. If he's cheap enough, sure. 1,000-yard rusher. You don't really have one of those right now, historically speaking, at least in recent memory. But I'm also not sure he's that high-end player anymore. But then again, it kind of becomes don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Never said the expression, but it means like take what's given to you. You don't have much of that in the backfield. Spin comment on today's video. Name a player who you want to trade for. Go ahead and sound off for me in the comment section of today's show. The pin comment of the video. Zeno saying, more likely, Cowboys win a Super Bowl or Madden is realistic. Well, Madden's literally not realistic, and it hasn't been in a very long time. So I think by definition, as unlikely as the first one is, I guess give me Cowboys win a Super Bowl. But that's like, hey, can you count higher than half? 1. Okay, I did it. The bar's very low there. Checked out Adam Predictions. He says the Cowboys go 8-9, Bears go 12-5 as if. That'd be the worst Cowboys season since they got or really lucked into Romo when the quarterback's been healthy. That'd be the biggest Cowboy season disappointment since they were actually contending for championships. That's how bad that would be. And I still think this is a 10-11 win team. From Corey Childs, if this team doesn't exceed expectations, will they fire Mike McCarthy and trade Dak? The funny part is they don't do either. They just let them leave. Mike's out of contract. Dak's out of contract, which does have some downside to it. When everyone's on a one-year deal, and if things get a little shaky, what can happen is everyone starts looking out for me instead of we. I got to worry about my job. I got to worry about my next gig. Which sometimes it's the, hey, we're all fighting for our job. Let's unify and rally together. It can also go sideways on you. So if they don't exceed expectations, Mike and Dak might be gone. Whether by their choice, they now have control over their own futures. What's to stop those guys from saying, this is a circus, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to go somewhere where my 3 straight 12-win seasons would be appreciated. Carolina would murder for that right now. They absolutely would. And some of the Cowboys are going, it's just not good enough. And both sides might be right, by the way, on that front. From Calvin Jefferson, am I wrong for being skeptical about Zimmer? I don't think you're wrong. I hope that when we look back, and I'm sure you agree, Calvin, in 3 months or 4 months, 5 months, you were wrong to be skeptical. But there are reasons to be. He's been out of the game for a little bit. He's on a one-year deal himself. The defense has to undergo some changes. Maybe the game has passed him by. I think those are all valid risks. I will say of the available options, I thought Zimmer was probably your best bet. From Timmy, is Deuce Vaughn working at wide receiver a bad sign? I think if it were a straight-up position change, yes. That when you see a young guy moving spots in year 1, you go, oh, that's not good. Now, if it actually is just cross-training, and they're giving him the kind of grouping him in the Kevontae Turpin-esque bucket of you're going to help on returns and be the emergency receiver and backup running back in case something happens, then I think it's fine. But I do think it's a very valid question to bring up because, he didn't do much at running back last year, even though he was pretty good in the preseason. So prediction time. Will Deuce Vaughn make the Cowboys roster this upcoming season? Y for yes, N for no in the comments section. Another $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Scott Hoover. I still think Dallas wins the division. I'm not sure the Eagles got better. I think losing Kelsey was painful, and I can't get that meltdown out of my head. I get where you're coming from. I think the Eagles try to do things to get better. I also think that the NFC East curse is also worth having that conversation about too. From Vince, you always say you don't want to pay good players great money. So why isn't that true when it comes to Dak and the quarterback position? Good question, Vince. Long answer coming here. First answer is quarterback's always different. How many good quarterbacks are there? Maybe 15? Maybe you get to top 20? And compare it to let's go with edge rusher, right? I think Dorrance Armstrong is a good edge rusher. Where does Dorrance Armstrong rank among edge rushers? 50th? Maybe? Somewhere in that range? And I think Tyler Biadasz is a good center. Is he a top 10 center? I don't think so. Dak is a top 10 quarterback. He was second team All-Pro. And I also think specifically when it comes to quarterback, the difference between having, you obviously want the great one. The difference between having a good quarterback and an okay quarterback, that's the difference between being a playoff team and not making the postseason, every other year. When that's not the same that's true for a linebacker. You didn't have a good linebacker last season, and you still made the playoffs. Now, you want to find those good players. You don't want to recklessly overpay for stuff, but the fall off in production relative to pay is so stark for a quarterback that I'm willing to, maybe use a better example, I'm willing to pay guys like Tua and Jared Goff, and even, I think the Baker Mayfield deal was actually pretty darn fair, the Geno Smith deal, because it raises my floor that I'm going to be a contender. Now, if you are convinced it's not going to work with the top, whatever number you want to assign quarterback, okay, different conversation. Then you got to rebuild and tank, and I think that is valid, especially at this stage where the Cowboys are at in their cycle. But I also would say that, if you're second team All-Pro, those don't happen by accident. Good question there, Vince. Now, if you want more Cowboys videos each and every single day, hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. From Scatalytic Dude, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, by the way. I hope so. I see, what is his profile picture? You know what? Maybe I don't want to know. I see no value in trading any frame position other than DT. We got a ton of rookies with massive upside, including Mozzie, Overshown, Leafal, Fayoko, Vaughn, Jalen B and T, Brooks and Tolbert, Neal and Carson. I would still consider running back a valid option there because I like Deuce Vaughn, but Deuce Vaughn's not an every down back. But I do think DT is probably number one on that list. Eugene Roberts, in your honest opinion, how do you feel about the Cowboys using the running back by committee approach? Remember when they tried to go wide receiver by committee a couple years ago and they went, oh my God, we have to trade for Amari Cooper? Guys, remember that? I kind of get the same vibes here. I like Rico Dowdle. Cole Beasley was a good football player, but in the slot, they just went, well, we will bracket him. And Terrence Williams was not what he was at his best, and he kind of fell off quickly. Jalen Tolbert wasn't ready yet at that time. Gallup wasn't ready yet at that time. Which I guess maybe Freudian slipped there on Gallup and Tolbert. The brighter side is it is running back. It's not as important, and it's more impacted by the offensive line around you compared to, I think, the way the receiver impacts the offense and vice versa. But I'm anxious about it. And my big issue is there's not much speed there. It's kind of a slow group, kind of like that receiving core too. So I would keep my eyes open for an upgrade there. But if the offensive line and the schematics are better, which I think are ifs, the ground game will be better. Running backs don't matter as much as other positions, but the running game does still matter itself. Chris C. says Jamal Adams. I don't. I have enough safeties who can play linebacker / safeties who maybe actually are linebackers. I don't see the benefit there. Give playing time to Wanye Thomas, Marquise Bell, etc. So when it comes to free agency, name a free agent who you would like the Cowboys to sign. Let me know in the comments section. Robert Vasquez, say we're 3-3 and lose convincingly to the 49ers. Would you consider to start tanking at that point? I actually wouldn't. It would be very painful, but unless there's like a rash of injuries and your year's over, you're going to have a chance to rally, as we get later on in the season. So it's a fair question. My answer would be no, I would not be tanking quite yet. Zeno saying $5 super chat. People want to replace Dak. Quarterbacks like Lawrence, Herbert, Murray, Allen, Tua, Watson. So many are said to be better, yet none have won a Super Bowl. I think there are several names on that list that I genuinely do not think are better than Dak Prescott. Josh Allen, yeah. Trevor Lawrence, I'm actually okay having that conversation, but he falls in the same bucket of like, my issue overall, and I'll go on a bit of a rant here. Herbert's better too. The things we drag Dak Prescott down for are valid. You need better playoff results. Has to be better. And that goes for everyone on the team too. Caveat, blah, blah, blah. Several names on that list have had even worse playoff results. Specifically, Tua's never won a playoff game. He's been pretty bad in those games. Deshaun Watson and Herbert blew massive games. By the way, Watson, I think might just be bad now. Kind of worried about that one. If Dak Prescott had any playoff game as bad as Kyler Murray had, it would be brought up every single time someone talks about him. It's not brought up at all for Kyler Murray, even though in that game, it was one of the worst playoff games I've ever seen. He was 19 of 34 for 137 yards and 2 picks. As bad as Dak has been at times in the postseason, never been that bad. So my issue is the standard we hold, and that's not just Dak, it's several quarterbacks out there, does not get held to others. You'll people say, oh, well, Murray's better. Why? Well, Dak's been bad in the playoffs. I'm like, you watch Kyler? Also, he likes COD too much for me. That's beside the point. If you have not already, follow us on Instagram over at Cowboys Report IG. We've got you guys covered with some more coverage on Instagram. Now, honest answers here, because my answer is low. What is your confidence level in beating the 49ers this year? 1 to 10 in the comments section. 1 to 10. Because I don't have confidence in it right now. I don't think they're good enough. And I don't think they're well coached enough to overcome it either. Which, we kind of complain about the coach when they don't fire him, and then it's all about the roster moves that don't happen. We complain about that, and then they come back to, okay, well, the coach isn't going to maximize the roster. It's all interconnected, right? Confidence level 7, 5, 4, 4, 5, 1, 8, 6.69. Everyone type nice. 2, 3, 9, 9 as well. This is today's super. I do think Sack makes a good point, by the way. Zimmer historically has been better than Quinn against Shanahan. Shanahan has always coached Quinn's scheme. And that's kind of how I get to this of like, maybe the scheme can help fix things. But if the Cowboys felt that, I would have liked them to try to upgrade the roster too. Kind of just feels like a bunch of different half measures. Just weird. All right, the Super Chat menu on today's show. $5 Super Chat, as Scott and Zeno did twice, entered into our Cowboys Bluetooth speaker entry. $10, these are all individual Super Chats, gets you 3 raffle entries. I have a flag football game. I don't want to have drank a lot and then go play in the heat. It's just a bad idea. But we will keep them on the menu, but there will be no discounts today. There will be no halftime 2-for-1, especially that we do sometimes on the Cowboys Report. It's $20 for a shot, $50 for the beer bong, which is mostly me just watching my calories and wanting to be better about that. It's really all it is. And for the $50, we'll do a tortilla slap as well. So that's the Super Chat menu on today's show. We are still, unfortunately, way behind what the Bears did on Monday's live show. They're kind of taking it to us again and again as of late. Let's get that changed. I will in the end, if you put the 50s, if you put the 20s in, I will skip flag if I have to, which I'm sure will happen at some point eventually. But I would prefer just to get a bunch of 10s and have a fun raffle for the Bluetooth mini speaker. That'll come at the end of today's live show. We've got the Niners Madden Sim coming about 12-ish minutes after we break down the UFL impact on the Cowboys. Tom Downey here for the Cowboys Report. Today's show, we're looking at some of the top UFL players the Cowboys could look to pursue and sign. Dallas has multiple open roster spots, so they can sign several guys if they so choose. And Dallas has had success previously. Brandon Aubrey, Kevontae Turpin in back-to-back years, contributing in significant factors and roles, although it was, special teams dominant, which is fine for what you're expecting out of these players. Now, we won't go too far in depth on these 4 guys. Garyon Conley, DeAndre Baker, Noah Dawkins, and Willie Harvey all worked out for the Cowboys earlier this week. Players are not eligible to sign from the UFL until after the championship game wraps up on Sunday, so stay tuned. We will maybe get some news on those guys and maybe others as well. And if and when that happens, we'll have a video for you guys. How can we not? We haven't got anything. We got 2 players signed, not including Damian Wilson this season. That was like a practice squad re-signing, basically. So if and when the Cowboys make a signing, we will have you guys covered. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. The area that I would most be exploring, and I am like a little bit worried of like, hey, why haven't you done any of this with workouts, is the defensive tackle room. Oso Odighizuwa, good 3 technique. Mozzie Smith, who knows? Justin Rogers, 7th-round pick. Carl Davis is who he is. I don't mean that in a positive way, by the way. Chauncey Golston is Junior Voco kind of flex DTs, defensive ends. Nealon can help you there. It's a bad defensive tackle room, and God forbid Oso Odighizuwa goes down. It's real bad.
So some UFL targets beginning with the defensive tackle room. And there's a couple guys on this list I have to asterisk. Jalen Redmond. He had been banged up a bit this year. In a very small 4-game sample size before he hurt his ankle, he was dominant. 5 TFLs in those 4 games, 4.5 sacks, despite me being unable to find an Arlington Renegades photo for Jalen Redmond, so it's his Oklahoma one. I had a 5th-round grade on him coming out of Oklahoma. There were major medical red flags, which you got to vet, you got to figure out. And the ankle injury does not encourage things from that perspective, but he was productive in a pretty noteworthy way in a small sample size. We'll stick with the defensive tackle room here. It's Carlos Davis of the Birmingham Stallions. I am curious to see if he gets another chance. He's had chances. He's got a twin brother, Khalil. I think it's a twin in the NFL too. Now, of note for Carlos Davis, the consistency or the efficiency's out of whack. 4 TFLs, 7 sacks. Wow, 7 sacks. That's really friggin' good. Yes, pressure rate was under 9%. Means he was probably a little bit too consistent in terms of generating pressures to sacks, and that's probably going to drop off a little bit later on. Or at least moving forward, I should say. So will the Cowboys sign a UFL player? Y for yes, N for no at the pin comment of today's show. A name you might remember is Daniel Wise. And again, now he also got hurt. And I don't know what the injury was, but he only played 6 games this past season for the Michigan Panthers. Only 3 TFLs, sack and a half. Really good pressure rate, though. 13.7%. You go, wait a minute, Tom. Daniel Wise. Why do I recognize that name? You recognize the name because he's a Cowboys legend. He played for the Cowboys all those years ago. He was out there. UDFA out of Kansas, so I actually liked him a lot coming out of Kansas. I had a higher grade on him than most. Cardinals, Commanders, Chiefs, was a practice squatter for a little bit in Dallas before the Cardinals poached him. That seems significant to me in terms of the role that he played. The Cowboys know him. In fact, he is not the only one that is a former Cowboy football player who has played pretty well in the UFL. Walter Palmore was one of the best run stoppers this year also for the Panthers. He was on Dallas in 2020. Austin Falou was a battle hawk. He was there in 2021. Josiah Bronson was here for 2 years. And that's part of the issue you run into here. You're at a lower level in the NFL. The Cowboys have seen these guys before. They did a good job in the UFL. They weren't good enough to play for Dallas originally. Maybe they've gotten better. But the Cowboys knowing them might not end up being a positive thing because the Cowboys already said, you weren't good enough. So with this in mind, there were, by the way, as I was going through the rosters and the talent and the grades, there were a lot of Cowboys legends in there. So let's have some fun. We're not done with that, by the way, including a one that we'll talk about him in a minute. Name a Cowboys legend for me in the comments section. The one running back I've got interest in, and there are a couple guys that might be able to contribute on special teams, but that's kind of the Turpin role, is Jacob Sailors. With the Battlehawks this year, averaged just over 10 carries per game, but he led the UFL in running back rushing yards. Adrian Martinez, who also got benched in the championship game for Matt Corral. There's a name for you. And they're going to go back to Martinez. He actually led the NFL or the UFL in yards on the ground. Sailors was really good. And look, the running back room is not good in Dallas. I would, if I'm being honest, I'd probably put Sailors behind Malik Davis on the depth chart. Like, I think we have to have proper expectations involved here. But hey, you don't have a lot of great players. Like, is he better than Nathaniel Pete and Snoop Conner? Maybe, possible. A lot of these guys, I think, should get a chance at least to go play in the NFL. Sometimes play in the NFL again. I think Hakeem Butler absolutely fits that category. Butler's been kind of a weird football player, right? Like, he's big, he's tall, he's super athletic. He got moved to tight end at one point, and then he's back at receiver in the UFL for the Battlehawks, and he put up great production. And I think for a couple of the guys on this list, they just might end up topping out as an analogy. Man, that's the best FCS player, you know? Like they're not, their role doesn't overlap enough in the NFL, but if you let them be the one at a smaller competition, they really impress. They're just not quite good enough to be the one elsewhere. The receiving room, I don't mind adding some impact here. And Butler's way bigger than what they have. Now, Carolina's showing interest in Akeem Butler. He might choose to sign there, thinking it's his best chance to earn a role. But I'd pick up the phone and say, hey, you want to come work out for us? See if you can flash with your size. I do in general, when it comes to like this type of level of move, and not spending big money in free agency, unfortunately, I do tend to trust the Cowboys front office a little bit more. How much do you trust? How much your confidence level overall in the Cowboys front office? Scale it for me from 1 to 10 in the comments. I do want to mention defensive end. You could see Tyrus Sweet and Byron Vaughn's getting like some Sam linebacker run, and then you're down to Micah and Tank Lawrence, Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon, Junior Fehoko, and Chauncey Golston could be DTs. You could look for some depth here. I wish Isaiah Land was still here. First up is Chris Odom. Now, Odom got a chance a couple years ago with the Browns. He had an awesome 2022 campaign back for the USFL, I believe it was, and not the XFL. He was the Defensive Player of the Year, goes to Cleveland, tears his ACL. Sits out 2023, came back this year, was still pretty good. Not as dominant, but 8 TFLs, 5 sacks, 10.5 pressures. He'll probably get a workout or two. Sticking with our theme of Cowboys legends, that's Breeland Speaks, baby. And Breeland Speaks was the UFL Defensive Player of the Year this past season. 32 tackles, 13 TFLs, 9.5 sacks, 12.4 pressure rate. That's pretty solid there. He's played for the Cowboys. In fact, the former second-round pick had multiple different Cowboys stints, 2020 and 2021. But he was just a practice squatter for him. Again, that's kind of the issues you run into here. Some more X's. Again, Taco Charlton is one of the best UFL players. He had 6 sacks this year. I'm not bringing back Taco Charlton. I want to mention him. Rondell Carter had 4.5 sacks for the Michigan Panthers. Mika Tafua, you guys remember him? That's a deep cut. That's a deep, deep cut. He was there for like a month and a half or something. He had a half sack. He's not going to sign. And I'll include Kenny Willekes on here because he is a Mike Zimmer X. He spent multiple years under Zimmer in Minnesota as a draft pick, I believe a 7th-round pick, out of Michigan State. He had 5 TFLs and 4 sacks this past season. So name a UFL player that you want to sign if you know of any. Head down to the comments. Let me know. Cowboys have obviously shown interest in linebacker, Willie Harvey, Noah Dawkins. A couple other linebackers I think you can mention here. First up is Devontae Beckett, the San Antonio Brahmas linebacker. He was the other all-UFL linebacker alongside Willie Harvey Jr. 9 TFLs, 72 tackles, 1.5 sacks, a PBU. Nothing overly shocking, but did force 2 fumbles, though, in 10 games played. Was near the top of the tackle leaders in the UFL. Mike Rose, who got a chance to play with the Dolphins last year after being a UDFA out of Iowa State with the Chiefs. 45 tackles, 2 TFLs, 2 interceptions, by the way. Coverage stuff matters. 3 PBUs. He was a battle hawk as well. And then another Cowboys legend, Story Jackson. And I put him on here for one reason. Not because he had 41 tackles or 3 TFLs or he's from Arlington, which I think Mike Rose is from the area too. Or maybe it was Beckett. One of those 2 guys was. And he plays for the Renegades. He led the UFL in special teams tackles. He had 16. If I'm the Cowboys, the spot that's open at linebacker is linebacker 5. Linebacker 5 is going to be a core special teamer. So if I were John Fossil, that would interest me. Plus, you know him, which, again, maybe is a positive or a negative thing, from the last time he was with the Cowboys back in the 2022 preseason. All right, we're going to get set up here for the Cowboys 49ers Madden Sim. Who you got? You be honest with me here. C for the Cowboys, 4 for the 49ers. Alex says taco. People not talking about burritos because I mentioned taco. That's funny. I appreciate that. C. I also like Alex's comment. I love the Cowboys, hate the front office. It's like liking America and hating politicians. I like that one because I hate politicians too. Who you got? C for the Cowboys, 4 for the 49ers. As a reminder, our super chat menu. I wouldn't mind doing like one shot or one beer bong before we get going. But that's how that, it's up to you guys. Also get to Ecuador Man super chat here too real quick. $5 Bluetooth speaker entry is the $5 super chat menu item. $10 is 3 raffle entries. Total raffle entries wise, we have like 20 something. Only like 5 people are in. So good chance for you to win that. $20 for a shot, 50 for a beer bong. $50 also gets you a tortilla slap. Ecuador Man's got a $2 super chat. Says Baker and Conley have been horrible. WTF. The good players aren't in the UFL. Let's put like the guys that were in the UFL chance. You can find guys that help you, but like, it's kind of like the CFL, right? Like Cam Wake was like the one good CFL player forever, not including Doug Flutie. It feels like cheating. The lesser tier guys, you don't normally find them. So I think that's more like draft pedigree having switched. They were fine in the UFL, and I think it's a fair point. Also, remember that the UFL expectations should be kept accordingly. You're not signing somebody to actually start for you. It's to fight for a roster spot at best, frankly. It is time for our Week 8 Madden Sim, and it's the one I've been worried about. Cowboys on the road in prime time against the 49ers, the game I am least looking forward to in the actual NFL season. The Niners, by the way, we've been doing a sim alongside this with the games as they go along. The Niners are the last undefeated team in football. They are 7-0. They are the 1 seed right now in the NFC. Dallas is the 2 seed ahead of the 4-2 Detroit Lions. So who you got winning in this one? C for the Cowboys, 4 for the 49ers. Get those comments flowing for me in the comment section of today's show. Here's what's happened earlier this season. Cowboys have won some wild games. Held on against the Browns. Doinked upright and in. Or an out for the Saints. Ravens 17-10. They kicked the field goal as time expired. Was really stupid. Blew out the Giants. Very realistic. Rigged loss against Pittsburgh. Absolutely rigged. And beat the Lions 30-20. So give me your score prediction for the Cowboys and the 49ers. Get those answers in for me in the comment section. What score prediction do you have as the Cowboys take on the 49ers here in this week's Madden Sim? Ecuador Man has a $2 super chat, by the way. I'm going to give him a free entry into the $5 raffle, by the way, because he's got a bunch of 2s in there, so we'll count it. Says Conley got cooked in the UFL. But it was fine in the UFL. He got roasted a lot in the NFL, which was kind of concerning as well. But I appreciate that, Ecuador Man. Let's get set up then for kickoff. Cowboys, Niners, Week 8 of the Madden Sim. We are away. The Niners kick off first here to go to the Cowboys. Turpin takes it from his own goal line and is going to get to maybe the 21-yard line. So not the best of results, if we are being upfront and honest on that front there. The issue for Conley was he allowed some touchdowns, by the way. He had allowed 4 scores, but under 56% completion rate's not that bad. You'd hope for maybe higher dominance for the UFL, so I get that part. All right, can the Cowboys be unrealistic and beat the Niners in Madden? Let's find out. Dak Prescott under center, handoff to Rico Dowdle. Dowdle's got some space. Fred Warner closed that gap quickly. There was nothing but green grass in front of Rico Dowdle, taken down from behind by Fred Warner. So 2nd and 3 here for Dallas. Prescott in the shotgun. 6-minute quarters. Penalties turned down. Injuries off as Rico Dowdle, the slowest juke known to man, and juked into the defender, but does get the first down, so type in those 1s. A first down pickup for Dowdle on that run. Again, $5 super chat. You're entered into our Bluetooth speaker raffle. $10 gets you 3 entries. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back to pass. Oh, it's a handoff to Dowdle. Dowdle gets loose again. He's got 3 carries, 28 yards. Feed Rico, apparently. The Cowboys taking advantage on the ground early and often here against San Francisco with some nice running. So 1st and 10 from midfield. Handoff again to Dowdle, and Dowdle is only going to get 3 yards on this one. 2nd and 7. 4 straight handoffs for Rico Dowdle. When was the last time the Cowboys ran the ball 4 straight times successfully? Or even close to successfully? It feels like a long time. They'll go shotgun set here. Prescott with Lamb in the slot to his left. Dak drops back to pass. Downfield. Incomplete. I don't know if that goes down on the stat sheet as a drop or if it was a pass broken up. Dak tried to go to Cooks. Kind of my issue. There's 0 touch passes in this game. That should be a bomb downfield. So 3rd and long now. 3rd and 7. Deuce Vaughn checks in the game. Prescott drops back, and that should have been picked. That was a garbage tier throw by Matt and Dak. Incomplete. And they'll have to punt. To which I say, oh no, here we go again. 4th and 7. Dallas will punt. That was a bad throw. That was not close. Brian Anger on for the punt. That one seemed like a shank. And oh my God, it was. Let's see. Now, he's a good punter. Why is that a shank? He did shank something. R for rigged. I'm getting rigged vibes here. That was a terrible punt. Where's that ball at? Because they were at what, the 47? Good Lord. I guess it wasn't as bad of a punt, but it is at the 23. That was like a 25-yard punt. As Christian McCaffrey is going to get 6 on that one on a handoff up the middle. The Niners already have their first momentum thing. How? I guess it's the home field boost, but still. Why do they make it look like Mike's calling it in the play? He's the offensive coach. Whatever. All right. Purdy, handoff to McCaffrey. McCaffrey dancing. Great tackle right there by Micah Parsons. He only gets a yard. 3rd and 3, so type in those 3s. 3rd down. Maybe Madden defense can step up here. I would run the ball again if I were the Niners, by the way. I would just run it over and over. It's a pass. Purdy, downfield. Got him in. He ran backwards. They're going to give him the first. That is not forward progress. Jawan, they gave him 6, by the way, which is ludicrous. He should not have gotten that first down. Spam R for rigged in the comments. They also didn't give him the first down with the Royals. Oh, pressure coming on a screen. Incomplete. I feel like they didn't give him 10 yards total, by the way. I feel like that was... Actually, they did. They did. Never mind. They did. 2nd and 10. This kind of like that last screen the Cowboys ran last week was dead from the start. 2nd and 10. Is that Debo in the backfield? I think it is. That's Brandon Ayuk in the backfield. The throw is caught for a gain of a couple. I feel like the Madden roster's busted a little bit because that should not have been Ayuk back there in the backfield. It should be Debo, and I think they threw it to Debo on the slant. 3rd and 3 once again. Type in those 3s. Purdy, handoff to McCaffrey. Got the first down. 1st and 10, 49ers. Again, a $5 super chat. You're entered into our Bluetooth speaker giveaway. $10 is 3 entries. $20 for the shot, and $50 for the beer bong and a tortilla slap. 1st and 10. Purdy, under some pressure, is drifting really far the wrong way. It's a sack, a loss of 18. Tank Lawrence gets half a sack. My goodness. Purdy, what are you doing, buddy? What a terrible decision by Brock Purdy. Drops way back in the wrong direction. Tank Lawrence should really get the full sack credit. I don't know why they gave him a half. He got everything there. A loss of 18. Purdy now going to go shotgun, 2nd and 28. Downfield, it's picked off, going the other way. Purdy disaster class to Marvy and Overshone. The INT. The Niners turn it over. They were marching the ball downfield, near midfield, an 18-yard loss, and a great pick by DeMarvin and Overshone. Threw it right to him. INTs in the comments. If this was real life, I'd be losing my mind. So Cowboys ball now on offense at the 38-yard line. Prescott barks out some signals, drops back. Check down, caught by Schoonmaker, and he gets 13 on that one for a first down. Joe says this is not realistic. And I feel like the season has not been realistic. They're 5-1. Take it, though. Prescott from the 25 now. Deuce Vaughn to his right. It's a play-action pass. Prescott downfield. Deep pass caught inside the 5 by Jalen Tolbert. He got up way high on that one on a deep dig, a gain of 23 yards. He's made some big plays last few weeks in the Sims. Lamb's been kind of quiet. Tolbert breakout here? I'll see it. I-form set. Ezekiel Elliott, the lone back. It's a handoff to Zeke. Zeke cuts it up. He does not get it. They only gave him a yard. Dallas does not have... He says it was his fault. I don't know. 2nd and goal. Dallas does not have to run a play here if they don't want to. They're in shotgun form. Dowdle with goal line set. Got to be a quick pass. They're going to bring pressure. Prescott, it's a handoff to Dowdle. That's a bad... Why are you running the read option into a goal line form? Well, now it's 3rd and goal to begin the second quarter. You can get the official Cowboys draft hat over at chatsports.com/Cowboys draft hat. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. It is the official 2024 NFL draft hat for the Dallas Cowboys. Get yours today, chatsports.com/Cowboys draft hat. Appreciate the hookup there with our friends over at Fanatics. Let's go back to the game. It is Cowboys ball. 3rd and goal to begin the second quarter. The Niners, by the way, have -5 passing yards if you didn't catch that. So 3rd and goal coming up here. Prescott under center. Dowdle the single back. It's a pass play. Prescott throws, caught. He's in. Touchdown Dallas. Brandon Cooks delivers. A little hitch to Cooks, and Prescott bumps into they're all bumping into Talanoa Hufanga. He's just in the way. Quick throw, caught by Cooks. Hufanga laid the lumber. Cooks holds on. Touchdown Dallas. When was last time the Cowboys had a lead over San Francisco? In the second quarter. Aubrey's extra point is good. So a 5, Madden camera showing nobody. Classic. All right, TDs in the comments. Again, $5 super chat. You're entered into our Bluetooth speaker raffle. $10 is 3 entries. No one's done a shot yet. $20 for a shot, $50 for a beer bong, and a tortilla slap. Guys don't want to get me tipsy, that's fine. Make me go play on my flag game today. That's fine. 7-0. Dallas leads San Francisco. Kickoff team is on here. It's away and will be brought out from a couple yards deep in the end zone and stood up at the 20 by Sam Williams. I believe that was Trent Taylor on the return. So from the 20, Purdy under center. Handoff to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey gets nothing. Overshone, who made the pick last time, stands him up for no gain. So big stop there. 2nd and 10. Ecuador, man, the 4 bonks for 50 were a one-time offer. Also, I can't be doing that when I got a flag game tonight. That's why it's just 1. Purdy out route. Oh, Ayuk should have caught it. He just never put his hands up. He was wide open. Happened earlier to the Cowboys. I think it was Ferguson or Schoonmaker just didn't go for the ball. Just watched it go over his head. So 3rd and 10. That one might have been rigged for Dallas, if I'm being honest. That one might have been rigged for Dallas. From the 20. Purdy. Downfield. And again, I think that one should have been caught. Had Debo in the area and never went to catch it. So a quick 3 and out there for the 49ers, and Dallas a chance to extend their lead here. This might be rigged in favor of Dallas. Punts away. Good coverage. Turpin from his own 30 is going to get to the 35. All right, Brandon Cooks had the 4-yard touchdown earlier on the last drive. Now the Cowboys offense comes out up by 7, 5:19 or 5:16, 8:19. I can't read. To go in the first half. Niners get the ball to begin the second half. Prescott, handoff. Dowdle straight up the middle for 10. Dowdle been running hard so far. It's another first down for the Cowboys. Ground game looking sharp early. Under 5 to go now. You know what we haven't noticed? This. I haven't noticed that yet. Offset I. Prescott under center. Stretch left to Dowdle. Dowdle to the edge. He's loose 40, 35. Breaks tackle 30. Rico Dowdle's on fire. He's balling. They ran, imagine, stretch left works. They should have run more of that in real life last year. Big pickup off the edge for Rico Dowdle. He is on fire. Everyone spam Rico in the comments. Terrible tackling. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys. From the 29-yard line. Prescott in the shotgun. It's a pass. Over the middle. Caught somehow. For 4 yards there, that was Jake Ferguson on the catch. Ecuador says Lipke's blocking. That's unrealistic. Yeah, he sealed off the edge pretty well there. Empty personnel here on 2nd and 6 for the Cowboys. Prescott drops back to pass. Under some pressure, going to be flushed to his left. Throws off balance, end zone. Oh, it should have been caught. Tipped and it bounced off Brandon Cooks' legs. Fred Warner did a great job to break it up. I thought Cook should have caught that off the tip. A diving tip by Fred Warner and almost caught by Cooks. 3rd and 6, they're going heavy personnel here. It's a play-action pass. Prescott downfield. Got a man, it's Lamb. He's down at the 2. They went heavy personnel, a deep crossing pattern for Lamb, and he gets a huge pickup. Got Schoonmaker just standing there. CeeDee Lamb all the way inside the 5. Dallas a chance to go up 2 scores here. 1st and goal. From the 2, 1.5. Prescott barks out a signal. Elliott the lone back. Handoff. Lipke. Lipke's in. It's a fullback dive. Everyone spam TD. It's Tyler Guyton who's hyped. Hunter Lipke on a fullback dive scores a touchdown. I think that's his first touchdown of the year. First touch of the year, I should say. The worst hurdle ever. He's in. My goodness. 3:35 to go in the first half. Dallas is taking it to San Francisco. Kick is online and good. So a 6-play, 67-yard scoring drive capped off by, of all people, Hunter Lipke. And didn't fumble this time. That one might be too mean, but I'm also not wrong. All right. Kick is away here from Brandon Aubrey. Someone said if this happens, you'll have to buy Super Bowl tickets. Long way to go. Trent Taylor is going to get just past the 20. Niners have a chance to go 2 for 1 here, by the way. I think someone's saying scoreboard. Trent Taylor. Because they were John. All right, 1st and 10. Niners have had a rough go of things on offense. 5 yards. -5 passing yards. Purdy, handoff, McCaffrey. McCaffrey gets to the edge, makes a man miss, and is going to get about 7-8 on that one. McCaffrey's done a good job moving the ball. So 2nd and 2. $3:20 to go here in the half. Purdy, play action, has all day, downfield, got a man, huge pickup. Deebo Samuel. Gain of close to 30 on that one. That throwing motion looks super weird, right? It's like he was like aimed and went like this. I don't know. It just looked weird. $5 super chat if you want in on the Cowboys Bluetooth speaker raffle. That's just $5. Purdy in the shotgun. They're going to motion McCaffrey to the right side. Down to 2:45 to go. Purdy looking. Check down. Caught by McCaffrey. McCaffrey is going to get 8 on that one. Purdy's fired up. The clock will continue to run. 2.5 to go now in the first half. Niners got to be thinking go 2 for 1 here. If you can stop them, that'd be a big deal for Dallas. Purdy under center on 2nd and short. He barks out some signals. It's a pass. Purdy, quick one. Wide open is Brandon Ayuk. No one within about 10 yards of him. A gain of 15. 2:14 to go here in the half. Niners probably going to try to bleed a little bit of clock here. Clock will run. 2:10 to go. Purdy in the shotgun. McCaffrey to his left. It's a pass. Purdy flushed. Rolling left. Going the right way. Ball's out. Loose ball. Who's got it? Cowboys got it. Micah Parsons. It's a strip sack. Going the other way. Another turnover. Micah Parsons blew by. Purdy fumbles. And I think Tank Lawrence dove on it. Someone did. It phased through Trent Williams. That is a massive takeaway for Dallas. They forced the turnover. Final play before the 2-minute warning. Prescott, quick one, caught for a gain of 9.5 to Fergie. That takes us down to the 2-minute warning. Dallas is up 14-0, and they've got the ball with a chance to go push it downfield and get some points here. Got to be aggressive. Foot on the gas. Don't be scared, Big Mike. Don't do bad clock management. Quick one, caught again by Ferguson. He gets just shy of midfield. Prescott 7 of 10, 83 yards and a score. Fergie up to 3 catches, 20 yards now. Micah did just stand there celebrating because Madden's poorly coded. And they went into the sack animation and didn't process that it was a fumble. 1st and 10. Prescott in the shotgun. 1.5 to go in the half. Prescott downfield. That one should have been picked. That was a terrible throw. Diamador Lenore was right there. That was a Daniel Jones-esque throw. That was a low bullet, what should be an outside fade shot. Yeesh. So 2nd and 10. Prescott in the shotgun here. After bullet dodged. Screen. Pressure coming. Batted down by Nick Bosa. If that ball gets to Rico Dowdle, there's space. 3rd and 10. I think that was actually Charvarius Ward who broke it up, by the way. Cowboys legend, mind you. 3rd and 10. Got to get the first down. Come on here. Prescott drops back to pass. Under pressure, rolling left, throws it off bounds across the body. Got a man! What? He spun around for no reason and threw it behind. It doesn't make any sense. That is not physically possible. What? He did like a little 360 spin for no reason. How does that make sense? That is unrealistic. If he had just stood in the pocket, it would have been a normal play. Instead, Madden ridiculousness. Clock is running here. 1st and 10 inside of a minute to go. It's at the 30. Prescott an empty. Drops back. Quick one. Caught by Lamb. Call your timeout. They do. 4-yard gain. Alex's 360 no scope. That was a 360 no scope throw is right, Alex. And by the way, there's no physical way for Dak to be able to see that receiver. That is so poorly coded by the game. 2nd and 6. Mahomes couldn't do that in real life. Prescott, out route, caught. It's a gain of 3, 3rd and 3 here. Very unrealistic game so far. The Cowboys are up 14-0 over the 49ers, and Dak did a 360 no-scope on 3rd and 10 for like 35 yards. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back. Downfield. Got a man. Tolbert down to the 2. Call timeout. Call timeout. It's first. Thank you. 1st and goal. 1 timeout left. 31 seconds to go in the half. Call up a fade here. Jump ball to CD. Dallas calls timeout. They're up big. They're going to go heavy personnel with Ezekiel Elliott. 1st and goal. It's a handoff again to the fullback. He didn't get in. Go tempo. Go. What are you doing? I swear to God, they better get more than 1 play off here. Go. This is the worst clock management in human history. This is, you snap it. Come on. 10, 9, 8, 7. Are you kidding? The second they snap it and they throw it off the upright away. They basically killed the clock. They're gonna have a timeout left for no reason. That is the worst clock management in human history. Aubrey's kick is up and good. 17. That should have never happened. Like, as bad as Big Mike's clock management is, it's not that bad. They would get at least 2 real plays off there. Unbelievable. There's still 2 seconds left for some reason. You wait till there's 5 seconds left and immediately throw it out of bounds? That's so poorly designed. It should be 21-0. Also, stop giving it to Hunter Lipke. Why'd you give it to him twice? Kick is away. It's a high kick from Aubrey to force a return from the 5. Taylor up the middle. 30, 40, 50, 45. Taken down from behind. He almost housed it. Wow. That was a near disaster. But Dallas is up at the half, 17-0, which I'm happy about. We'll come back to the second half of action. As a reminder, you can get the Cowboys NFL Draft hats. Chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft hat. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. I would say check it out. You can get a good feel for what the hat actually looks like. It's kind of got that 3D effect. Make sure it looks the way you want it to look in the end. So because I think it looks better when you zoom in on your phone or your laptop than like trying to do it on a YouTube video with just it taking up half the screen. Go to chatsports.com/Cowboys Draft hat. Again, that link's in the comments section and the description of today's show. All right, be honest with me, folks. What is your real confidence level in beating the 49ers this year? 1 to 10 is your scale? Then we'll get to Chris B, Super Chat, and break down the Super Chat menu as well. What is your real-life confidence level in taking down San Francisco? Chris B's also written in 0, which is fair, as I have very low confidence. I don't think they're going to have a lot of success here. Chris B says 17-0 against the Niners. Yep, it's just totally Madden. Yeah, feels like it, right? I'm actually worried this is going to be a disaster in the second half, and they're going to blow it, because that would be actually, I think, somewhat realistic there. One more time, the Super Chat menu for you guys on today's live show. $5 is an entry into our Cowboys Bluetooth speaker raffle. $10 is 3 entries. $20 is a shot. There will be no special drinks because I don't want to get drunk because I got a flag game. $50 for a beer bong and a tortilla slap. Let's see if somebody does it. It's up to you guys. All right, back to the second half of action. Remember, San Francisco will get the ball to start this half of action here. Dallas is up 7-10. They forced 2 turnovers. Micah strip sack and a DeMarvion Overshown INT. It's funny how Zeke is out there on special teams, by the way. I don't know why he's out there. It's really dumb. So Trent Taylor, who almost house won last time, or is that Ricky Parasol? Is that 14 or 19, you think? Kicks away. It's 19. That's Taylor. And he gets rocked shy of the 20. The Niners have to get points here. Joe says flip the score in real life. Probably. 1st and 10. It's a handoff to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey is going to get 6 on that one. Injuries are off. So sometimes I think they do like the injury animation and go, oh, wait, they're off. It's kind of what I feel like there. 2nd and 4. Purdy in the shotgun. He drops back. Quick one. Caught at the first down marker for a first down. Deebo Samuel hit hard by Eric Kendricks. So 1st and 10 for the Niners. Time isn't as big of a factor for now, but 7 feels like it's pretty much an essential need here for San Francisco. One more takeaway would be electric for Dallas. Purdy teleports the ball to McCaffrey, who gets 4. That's happened like 4 or 5 times this year. The ball does not get there on the handoff. It does not. And it teleports. God, please be better, College Football 25. Please be better. That's all I want. 2nd and 6. Purdy, handoff to McCaffrey. McCaffrey is not going to get it. 3rd and 3. Cowboys have been pretty solid on 3rd downs this year. Yeehaw, a $5 super chat. Thank you, my friend. Says, if Dak does this in real life with the little is for me emoji, in real life, my confidence is 11 of 10. Shit. If Rico Dowdle's running the way he is, I'm going to boost my confidence level. Purdy, downfield. Got a man. It's Kittle for a huge gain. 1st and 10. Dowdle's got like 9 yards to carry today. Oh, okay. I see you with the different emoji there, you call. That's fine. It ends up being the same. 1st and 10. Inside of 4 to go here in the 3rd quarter. And they haven't done this like at all really today, I feel like. Oh, you saw him do it? That's what he meant. He says if Dak does this in real life, I think. Purdy rolls left, resets downfield, corner shot, caught! Challenge it, Mike! Deebo 1st and goal. Let's see the replay here. Corner route, Deebo. No way. Oh my God! I think he did get it actually. It defies physics. His feet did like 8 different motions at once. 1st and goal. Here come the Niners. Oh boy. 2 in the backfield. Handoff to Elijah Mitchell, or is that Juszczyk? That's Elijah Mitchell, and the Niners are right back in the football game. Just hand off right. That was too easy. I am now anxious about this game, even if it is just a video game. 17-6, Dallas up over San Francisco. Kick is up and good. 17-7. Getting down to the final call. Oh, what's up? I noticed that they now maybe it's the field goals. They like, I don't know. That's weird. I will say that there was an update the other day somehow for Madden, which makes no sense. So, all right. Yeah, Scott, thank God we used that third timeout until at the end of the first half. I am haunted by the points you should have had. Turpin back deep on the return. $5 entry for our Bluetooth speaker raffle. Brought out from Turpin from the 2. Turpin to the 25 and a little bit past it. Caught a 25-yard return to the 27-yard line. Rico Dowdle, 9.4 yards per carry. Feed Rico. Let Rico run the ball over them there hills. Under center, Prescott, handoff to Dowdle. Dowdle's loose, and it's a big gain. 8 carries, 80 yards for Rico Dowdle. He's on fire. Cooper Beebe talking some trash. Tyler Smith was out there lead blocking, I think, too. 10 yards downfield. 1st and 10, 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hunter Lipke back on the field. Prescott drops back. Swing to Dowdle. Dowdle is going to get nothing on that one. It's actually a loss of a yard. Devondre Campbell on the tackle. So 2nd and 11 here. Clock will run. This is the best offensive performance I've ever seen from Dallas. Dax had no pressure, and the running holes are huge. Knock on wood. Prescott in the shotgun. Drops back. Over the middle, caught by Lamb, or to the outside, I should say. It's a gain of about 5. 3rd and 6. We'll be inside of 2 minutes to go by the time this next ball gets snapped, somewhere in that range. 3rd and 6. Prescott in the shotgun. Deuce Vaughn to his right. Drops back. Under pressure. Rolling right, off balance, and should have been picked. Been like 3 times there's just been reckless nonsense from the quarterbacks throwing across their bodies. That was bad, Dak. That was Madden, Dak. That was like the Mac Jones pick in the Patriots game. So Dallas has to punt, and the Niners could make this a 1-score game again. Anger's punt is away. This is a much better punt inside the 15. Chris, they're going to blow this, aren't they? They're going to blow this game. 1st and 10. Been a while since we had any supers. $5 for the raffle. 10 for 3 entries. Handoff to McCaffrey. McCaffrey gets loose and is, a big tackle there by Trayvon Diggs. Diggs doesn't make that tackle. I think McCaffrey goes the distance. 2nd and 1 now. Purdy in the shotgun. Mitchell gets the handoff again. Mitchell to the outside. Same play they scored on. Big gain from Mitchell. 1st down. The Great Duke Bothers, the drinks supers are 20 for a shot and 50 for a beer bong. No discounted items because I do have a flag game I have to go to today, and I don't want to be drunk for that. Also, it's hot, and that just feels like it's a bad idea for me being out of shape. Purdy drops back over the middle. Spinning catch made by, I think that's Jawan Jennings. Great Duke Bothers just says bet. Now I'm kind of worried. Now I'm kind of worried. 2nd and 4. Inside of a minute to go in the third quarter. Purdy, handoff to McCaffrey. DeMarvion Overshown brings him down. Stops him. 3rd and 2. Jonathan, I do play flag football. Not well, mind you, but I do play it. We're going to get smoked today. We're playing the good team that had top-end high school players and stuff. We're going to get roasted. Going to lose by 3 scores. Handoff on 3rd and 2. McCaffrey didn't get any short. 4th and inches. Spam your 4s as we go to the 4th quarter. I wonder if the Niners are going to go for that. I wonder if they're going to go for it when we get back to the game action here. 4th down coming up in the 4th quarter. 4th and inches. The Niners will go for it. They're down by 10. Only been 1 drive from the Cowboys offense as McCaffrey with a gaping hole right up the gut for a 1st down. Great Duke Bothers, $20 a shot. All right, great, you got it. Cheers to you, my friend. Bottoms up. Woo! That's Mozzie for you. Purdy, 1st and 10. Throws off balance. Got a man. It's McCaffrey for a gain of 8. Appreciate that, the Great Duke Bothers. Give you some entries into the raffle as well. All right, 2nd and 2. $5:10 to go. Can the Cowboys hold? Purdy. Check down again to McCaffrey for a nice chunk of change. It feels like they are playing prevent, Chris. That's right. So inside of 5 to go, the Niners down by 2 scores. God, this better not be a meltdown. From the 26. Clock is running. Purdy. Flushed left, off balance, almost picked! Eric Kendricks had a pick 6 and he dropped it. Oh no. Same with that ridiculous off-balance throw stuff where they half spin the wrong way. That was a pick 6 by Kendricks if he holds on to it. Niners survive. That play at least. 2nd and 10. Handoff to McCaffrey. A gaping hole, and he picks up 9. The Great Duke Bothers, it does. A $50 super chat is both a beer bong and a tortilla slap of me. That is correct. 3rd and 1. Oh, he just said bet. Oh, God. Tell Stone to get the beer the beer out and the tortilla. Purdy over the middle, caught, 1st down on 3rd and 1. We got 4 minutes to go. First and 10. We do not reuse the same tortilla, Seabass. Niners going no huddle. Purdy drops back. Over the middle end zone. It's picked! Trayvon Diggs! He picks it! Purdy threw it right to him! The Niners a chance to make it a 1-score game, and Purdy just hands it away. End zone shot. Diggs looked like he was running the damn route for him. Diggs had to slow down to catch it. INT, bleed that clock. Very unrealistic, but Dallas is on the verge of winning. 3:43 to go from the 20. Also unrealistic in real life. Diggs would have tried to bring that out. Unequivocally, I think Diggs would have tried to bring that out. I don't have it yet. So I don't know. Second and 4. Diggs would have brought that out and tried to score, by the way. He would not have kneeled. No chance he would have kneeled. He's thinking 108-yard pick 6. Prescott, handoff to Dowdle. Dowdle gets the first down. That'll bleed off some more time. Jamie, to answer your question, I did turn down flags for each game. Anthony McMillan's got a 50 bomb. Let's go. Now we definitely need the tortilla. Give him some entries as well. Dowdle up the middle. I got interrupted by Anthony. Everyone spam AM in the comments. He's got some more on these going in. Great Duke Bothers a 50 bomb. 2 tortilla slaps. Now we need it. And 2 beer bongs to go along with it. Let's go. Tortillas are here. Yeah, pause it at the 2-minute warning here. I got entries for that. Let's do beer bong, tortilla slap, beer bong, tortilla slap, beer bong. How about that? We're going to go full screen. To answer what was the question I kept getting interrupted by that I didn't answer yet? Was it about the tortillas? Oh, I turned flags down. There have been 3 flags called all year in the Sims. All of them against the Dallas Cowboys. Or maybe it's 4 now. Every single one's been called against the Cowboys. Jonathan G's right, man. I'm gonna be doing this flag game tipsy. All right, here we go. Bottoms up, first one. You slapped me twice. Great Duke Bothers says, don't go easy with it. I want a Will Smith slap. All right. For the record, I think that should count as 1. That first one was kind of soft. That last one was good. My ear's ringing a little bit. That one was good contact. Oof. Corey, this is actually the hard Mountain Dew. You can kind of see the hard on there. Maybe I should get a different one, but it's the hard Mountain Dew. 5%.
If you're ever watching a baseball game and you look away for a second,
you hear that crack.
You hear the crack of the bat and you know it's a home run. That's what that one felt like.
That was good. That was good contact. That should be the standard. I don't mind the hard Mountain Dew. I have tried to cut out actual Mountain Dew in real life, so this is as close as I get now. So, all right, let's do this one. Better than the 6% seltzers we realized we were drinking all year long during the regular season. I never looked at it. I'm like, oh, God, it's 6%. Could have been drinking 4% beer the entire time. All right, let's go back to the game. Dallas is up 17-7, 2-minute warning. Handoff to Dowdle. First down and more to midfield-ish. That was a good tortilla slap, Chris. That is the standard. I can still feel it. That tingly sensation. I can still feel it. I can still feel it. Woo! That should be the standard from now on, Chris. That's how hard you have to slap me with the tortilla. 1st and 10. Prescott, handoff. Dowdle going to get a couple, actually 4 yards on that one. Niners down to 1 timeout, 1:52 to go. Cowboys on the verge of icing it in the most unrealistic Madden sim ever, locking up the 49ers. Great Duke Bothers. If the Cowboys get another worthless last-second field goal, I'm going to do another tortilla slap. Wouldn't surprise me, honestly. I mean, they punted that. The Steelers game, they punted as time expired. Dowdle, first down, ball game. Niners can no longer stop the clock. Cowboys can kneel and get out of here with a W. Will they kneel it? Who knows? It's Madden. They're in the kneel down formation. Prescott takes kneel down number 1. It's the MVP today. Just Dowdle or the defense maybe? Dowdle played great. The defense was awesome though. I had three takeaways in this game. Cowboys in shotgun. After kneeling it, what are they doing? Handoff to Dowdle. Stat stuffing Dowdle. He's got 16 for 128. Oh my God. So, they're going to have to. They're going to have to run one more play. MVP is Scoodmaker. He caught a pass. Now they're going to kneel it. I don't understand. They might bring out the field goal unit though. There is a chance that happens. There's still 25 seconds left. They literally can't lose. But, by the way, if Cowboys beat the Niners, you know how many we lost to the Cowboys T-shirts are gonna be posted on social media. Oh, they're out there to go for it on 4th and 8. They don't have to snap it, and they won't. What is this? You know, the college football's got the new feature where once it's mathematically over, they're just going to end the game. How is that not already a feature? That should have been done 5 years ago. It's so easy. Anyway, who cares? Dallas wins. Who was the Week 8 MVP? Dowdle, defense overall? Sound off for me in the comments section of today's video. Who do you think was the Cowboys Week 8 MVP? I can't believe they won. With 3 takeaways, Tortilla's the MVP. I like that one. If you guys like the tortilla slaps, you know what? We can keep them and bring them back again. How about that? We can do it again next week. How does that sound? More tortillas next week? Yeah, Jonathan G's right. Dowdle's been awesome this season. He's averaging almost 6 yards a carry. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. Micah's got 10 sacks, by the way. He's going to set the record. He's going to set the record. He's got 10 already. It is incredible. Also shows it's just Madden being Madden in the end. Coming up next, folks, we are going to do our race for the mini Bluetooth speaker. Bunch of names, about 40-something entries overall. Is Madden Dak worthy of a new contract? I mean, they're 6-1, probably. He's completing like 75% of his passes or something stupid, by the way. Now, the TD ratio is bad, but you're winning games. Or you're winning games. That's all that matters. Rico's going to get a $10 million a year deal, though. He might be MVP. Actually, no. Micah's going to get $55 million a year. Kendricks has played super well, too, by the way. Diggs now has 3 INTs on the season. Actually kind of realistic. All right, we're going to do a new race today for the Bluetooth speaker. It's a boat race because it's summer, kind of. 43 entries in total. Lots of names all grouped together. So let's ride in 3, or race, I guess. Start your engines in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Winner for the Bluetooth speaker, which you might need on a boat, maybe, so you can hear stuff. A couple Anthony McMillan boats up there. The Omega one is up there. I'll scooch over a little bit so it's easier to see. No real movement here. Hopefully no one runs out of gas or blows their engines. The Omega one has a narrow lead. Great Duke Bothers up there at the top. Daniel Garcia climbing a little bit here at the very bottom in the Lightning Bolt boat. I think that Star boat, by the way, I think the Star boats are Jerry's yacht. That's what I'm going with here. That's what I'm going with. Anthony McMillan just ran out of gas. 15 seconds left. Anthony McMillan and Jerry's yachts in first with 10 seconds to go. Uh-oh, he's out of gas. Daniel Garcia, a late run. Anthony McMillan! He wins! Anthony McMillan, the unbranded boat, is the winner. Ecuador man AOG is way back there. Looks like Omega 1, Great Duke Bothers, Daniel Garcia in second and third. Wow. Anthony McMillan wins again. Spam AM in the comments. I haven't shipped out Anthony's last prize, so I'm going to group it together. It's perfect there. I'll ship it out this Friday, Anthony. I got your address. Appreciate everyone who tuned in. We will be back live on the Cowboys Report on Monday, so don't miss out. Hit that sub button right now.